No, how did we get to this? How did we get here? Hi, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the show. I know it just dropped randomly with no preconceived notion of what's going on, but I'm at work, all right? And this came across my algorithm. I was doing fine, listening to my music, just chilling or whatever, right? Stopped for a little bit, answer a call, and then some news dropped down from my notifications. I tapped it, and I wish I wouldn't have tapped it because that threw off my whole group, man. I was chilling. I was chilling. But now I got to deal with this fucking ignorance.
At 12 feet tall, in the middle of Times Square, stands a bronze sculpture of a young woman.
It's instantly stood out. It's powerful.
It's so tall and big.
The sculpture, created by artist Thomas Price, was unveiled at Duffy.
All right, let's see what we got here. Thomas Price. Not like this.
Just a matter of days, it has stopped hundreds in their tracks. Who is she? Well, technically, she's whoever you want her to be.
Me being a plus-size black woman, I kind of look.
A blessing is a group or gathering of unicorns. The unicorn is also the national animal of Scotland.
Looking at it, was just like, oh, I wonder what me as a small child would have thought looking at something like that. Representation.
The piece is part of a series called Grounded in the Stars, which Gene Cooney, director of Times Square Art, says confronts preconceived notions of
Brought to you by Reese's.
identity and representation.
To have this work here is making a statement, potentially asking questions about what we value as a city, as a society.
Gene Cooney. They hate you. They put that shit right in your face and you ain't gonna do nothing about it. They hate you.
And hopefully it's a tribute to our shared humanity.
Tourists and New Yorkers we spoke with expressed different interpretations of what she represents to them.
It's a plus-size woman. I'm a plus-size man. I'm African-American. It's the African-American woman statue. So just seeing another piece for me to stop.
How do you know it's African American? How do you know that? How do you know that this here is African American? Please explain to me why you think this piece is entitled Resilience and Scale and is on display at Hauser and Wirth Exhibition Hall in New York until I think June 14th. Artist Jay Price has put many of these statues on display ranging from 8 to 12 feet. This one of my favorites, is entitled The Time Is Always Now. This exhibit itself is expansive and it clearly refers to the large dimensions of the sculptures, scaled up figures retaining the proper proportions and casual attitudes in a large space. Like Howers and Wirth, you're almost tricked into thinking they're like normal size. It's disorienting, especially when you see a normal sized human next to them. I mean, these pieces are 8, 10, 15 feet. Most of them are 12. Here are some more pieces that I managed to find. All of these are, been seen before. The installation that we've seen downtown is called Grounded in the Stars, and it will be on display until June 17th in Times Square, so go up there and check that out if you're into it. Price's sculptures of black men and women enlarge the pool of people we see represented in these public spaces, galleries, and museums. Rather than basing the works on single individuals, Price combines attributes from multiple real people whom he's met, seen, or photographed to create fictional composites. He refers to them as characters, and like the director, he casts them in many different roles. As a result, they come across as relatable and familiar. We see them in private moments with eyes closed or looking at their phones or gazing off into the distance. They are dressed in clothes we or our neighbors might wear. By not immortalizing an individual, these composite identities become Eligarian mirrors. Within the context of historical figure works, we can look at the group of standing figures throughout the dichotomy of contrapposto or chorus pose. In art terminology, the word contrapposto in Italian or counterpose in English describes the S-shaped movement of a body when weight is concentrated mostly on one leg. One side of the pelvis hikes out, the opposite shoulder hikes up, resulting in dynamic diagonals and beautiful curves. A classic example of this was Venus de Milo from the Greek Hellenistic period, or Michelangelo's David. Two of Price's sculptures employ contrapposto, time unfolding, and as sound turns to noise. Both female figures wearing close-fitting outfits bearing recent red carpet trends. We usually don't see public nakedness, but leggings and sports bras are common inside and outside of gyms. Both figures strike poses that are inwardly focused. In time unfolding, the figure is looking down at a cell phone, her active arm comfortably resting on the other arm that is drawn across her waist. The pose feels compact and protected. Tendrils of curls in relief delicately frame her face. Viewed from the side, you can see the beautiful cascade of hair that is gathered behind her and as volumetric curve to the flow of anatomical forms. Wrinkles in the clothes at the knees, waist, hips, and shoulders, and undercuts give a hyper-realistic feeling to the
And just have a moment with was very powerful.
If you look at the eyes, it's looking straight at something, it's focused, it's purposeful.
The sculpture proves to be a well-liked juxtaposition placed among the more traditional statues.
Is that a Celtic cross, a sign of the Knights Templar?
Statues in Times Square, which is
George M. Cohan was a famous American actor, singer, lyricist, dancer, and producer who was given the Congressional Gold Medal for his patriotic songs like Over There and Your Grand Old Flag, in his contributions to development of World War I morale.
the goal, according to officials, of placing said artwork in such a significant area.
Coming from a person of color background as well, it's really nice to see something come across.
Flat on the ground. She don't even got a pedestal.
But I also think that's because of where we are standing. It might not look out of place if everything in our surrounding reflected everyday life.
All right, let's take a moment to appreciate that 12-foot booty before we leave. See you later.